Howdy gang, and welcome back to Pool School. All right, so you've tested your pool chemistry and you've discovered that your alkalinity is high, but your pH is low. Not a problem. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to take care of both of them, and it's really easy. Alrighty gang, before we get started, I want to thank you once again for watching. Remind you to like this video by clicking on that thumbs up icon below this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and please share my channel with everyone you know who owns a pool so that they too can save a ton of money servicing their pool themselves. Okay, one more other thing. Remember to check out my membership website, poolschooler.com, for the next level of DIY pool maintenance. Alrighty, so as I said before, you've tested your pool water and you've discovered that you have a high alkalinity and low pH. If you haven't seen my previous video on just the opposite, low alkalinity and high pH, please watch that one as well if you need help with that. But in this video, again, we're assuming that your alkalinity is high and your pH is low. Okay. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, I'm going to show you the two products, or I'm going to tell you the two chemicals you need to use to do this situation and deal with it. But the other thing to keep in mind is typically when I do pools, in my experience in Arizona where it's hot, I don't know if the climate makes a difference, but typically if our alkalinity is high on a pool, the pH is high, and vice versa. But that's not always the case in other areas of the country and in other areas of Arizona. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So again, just keep in mind that anytime that you add chemicals to your pool, unless otherwise noted, make sure that you have your pool equipment running. Make sure the pump and the motor are running, so that way it helps create a current in your pool water, and that helps mix the chemicals in faster and helps dissolve them and distribute them quicker. So keep that in mind. Keep your pool equipment running while you're adding your chemicals and until your process is done, okay? All right. Okay, so two chemicals that you are going to need, and I would suggest getting them in pure form and get the pool version. What I mean by that is don't get stuff like alkalinity up or alkalinity down or pH up or pH down. Some of those products, I'm not a fan of them because they have other chemicals in them other than the two chemicals I'm going to recommend. And the more chemicals you start adding to your pool, the more possible situations or problems you're going to have with your pool chemistry. So I always tell people, keep it simple, keep the chemicals as minimal as possible so you're not creating some kind of chemical nightmare, okay? So the two products you're going to want to have on hand to lower the alkalinity while raising the pH are, number one, dry granular acid. Okay, that's going to lower your alkalinity. Dry granular acid. I'm not talking about liquid muriatic acid. Dry granular acid, go to a pool supply store or look it up online and you can find it all day. To raise your pH, you're going to use a product called soda ash, or a chemical called soda ash. That's the nickname for it. Its real name is sodium carbonate. Okay, now don't confuse it with bicarbonate of soda. Okay, that's baking soda. We don't want baking soda. We want soda ash, or its technical term, sodium carbonate. Okay? All right, now I'm going to tell you how we take care of it. Okay, so most experts recommend dealing with the alkalinity first and getting that where it needs to be before you adjust the pH. And I would tend to agree with that. Again, like I said before, typically when my pools, if one's high, the other's high. But in these situations, I've had it come across sometimes where I've had an opposite spectrum on both. And what I end up doing is, because I don't have hours to spend sitting at the pool waiting for the chemical to disperse, I actually add them one after the other, and that does take care of it. But since you have your own pool and you can take the time to do it, I suggest take the time to get the alkalinity down first and then get your pH up. So in order to lower the alkalinity, you are going to want to use dry granular acid, as I said earlier. And what you're going to use is no more than 1 pound at a time. And again, with the pool motor and pump running, distribute the granular dry acid around your pool perimeter and give it about an hour to dissolve and distribute into the pool. Test your chemistry. If your alkalinity is back down to where it needs to be in the ideal range, it doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be within that range, then you're good to go and you can adjust the pH. If not, repeat the process, but no more than 1 pound of dry granular acid at a time. Once you've got that taken care of, remember, distribute around the pool, equipment's running, wait an hour, test the chemistry, repeat if necessary. If not, we can move on to your pH and getting that up. Okay, we're assuming that you've got your alkalinity down now using the dry granular acid, and now we can attack the low pH. And again, using soda ash or sodium carbonate, which is a technical term, with the pool equipment running, same idea, same way, no more than 1 pound of soda ash at a time. Distribute around the perimeter of your pool. You'll notice it will get cloudy. That's just it dissolving. Give it about an hour to distribute around the pool. Test your chemistry. If your pH is up to where it needs to be within that ideal range, then you're good to go and everything's fine. If not, repeat the process, but don't add more than 1 pound of the soda ash at a time. Once you've got both of those things taken care of, you're good to go and you're back in business. Okay, one more very important thing. The pool chemistry is not an exact science, so don't drive yourself crazy trying to get it exactly on the center, at the center of the ideal ranges for all this stuff. The range is there so you have wiggle room, okay? And again, so many things can affect the levels within hours or days, so don't freak yourself out. You're supposed to enjoy your pool, not drive yourself crazy maintaining it, okay? So make sure as long as your levels are in the ideal range, you're fine and everything's good. Go enjoy your pool. Alrighty, gang, so there you have it. That is my video on lowering your alkalinity while raising your pH. I hope it made sense. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below this video, or you can email me directly, and always my email address is going to come across the bottom of the screen. It's kennypoolschooler@gmail.com. Once again, kennypoolschooler@gmail.com. Please remember that I try to get to all my comments and questions through email and the comment section as quickly as I can, but because I get so many of them, sometimes it takes me days, if not weeks, to get to them, but I do try to get to them. If you want more direct access to me through chats and a lot of other great do-it-yourself pool maintenance tools, please check out my website, poolschooler.com. It should come across the middle of the screen here, poolschooler.com, and you can check it out and see if it's something you might want to consider joining. So that's my video on this subject. I hope it made sense. Thanks again for watching. I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and share. And until we meet again, remember, have fun, be safe, and always, always, always watch those kids and elderly folk and your pets around water. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.